Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or even maybe good evening. This is Heather Mansfield of Nonprofit Tech for Good. Thank you so much for signing up for today's webinar with Mobile Cause, 6 weeks to a successful Giving Tuesday campaign. It's in a very appropriately titled webinar since Giving Tuesday is 6 weeks from today. I did want to let you know that the webinar is being recorded, and the Mobile Cause will send a link to the recording 24 to 48 hours after the webinar is over. Mobile Cause is an excellent content partner because they always present really useful informational webinars, and they drive them themselves and make it easy on me. So Scott, go ahead and take over.
Thanks, Heather. And hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our webinar, 6 weeks to a successful Giving Tuesday campaign. Believe it or not, we are in the home stretch of 2021, which means Giving Tuesday is practically here. So to keep your efforts stress-free in these last months, we've created a simplified 6-week Giving Tuesday plan so you can run a powerful campaign that boosts your fundraising results and brings in more new donors. In fact, Giving Tuesday brought in more new donors than any other day in 2020. So there's considerable opportunity for nonprofits of all sizes to really increase their reach. Now, before we get started, we do welcome your participation in today's webinar and are here to answer your questions. So be sure to submit them into the question box on the GoToWebinar control panel. We have fundraising experts standing by to answer questions both during the webinar and at the end when we hold an open Q&A session with our experts. We hope you are inspired by today's presentation, and again, as a reminder, we will be sending the recording and slides to all of our registrants afterwards. Now, as Heather said, today's webinar is presented by Mobile Cause, and Mobile Cause understands the ever-changing landscapes of fundraising that your nonprofit must navigate while still trying to reach your goals. Well, here at Mobile Cause, we not only provide comprehensive online and event fundraising solutions, but also the one-on-one strategy from dedicated fundraising specialists that will help simplify your efforts and maximize your results. With the industry's best support team available to you 24/7, we are there when you need it most. MobileCause has become the trusted partner for nonprofits looking to scale their fundraising quickly and efficiently without paying any transaction fees. Together, we can grow your nonprofit like never before. Now, let me introduce you to today's wonderful fundraising experts. Leah Leibel is a senior digital fundraising strategist for Mobile Cause with a proven track record of cultivating meaningful relationships that help nonprofits meet their fundraising goals while while amplifying their reach and esteem within their communities. She is responsible for creating and managing powerful fundraising campaigns, guided by her expertise in capital campaigns, major gifts, strategic planning, marketing strategy, cross-channel communications, donor relations, and more. Leah's work has enabled hundreds of Mobile Cause customers to successfully accelerate and increase their fundraising and engagement efforts. Denise Dunbar is a digital fundraising strategist with Mobile Cause, where she works one-on-one with nonprofits to maximize their fundraising campaign success. She creates and sets up campaigns, provides fundraising and donor engagement strategies, and creates supportive communication and promotional tools to help nonprofits reach and exceed their campaign goals. And I'm Scott Couchman. I'm the training manager here at Mobile Cause. Now, today's agenda is going to be very helpful for all of you looking to quickly and effectively run a Giving Tuesday campaign that brings in great results and takes advantage of all the excitement around philanthropy. Leah and Denise are going to share with you our 6-week Giving Tuesday plan, the tools and strategies that drive giving, and examples of nonprofits that have successfully put these tips and strategies into action. All right, now before we begin discussing 6 weeks to a successful Giving Tuesday campaign, we do have 2 quick poll questions for everyone. So let me go ahead and launch this here. And this usually takes a second or two, so I'll go ahead and read this off. The first question is, what were the results of your 2020 Giving Tuesday campaign? And our choices are 1, the results exceeded expectations, 2, the results met expectations, 3, the results were lower than expected, and 4, did not participate in 2020. All right, we're watching the numbers come in. All right, it's kind of interesting. Let's see if we can get a few more of you to vote. All right, looks like it's slowing down. We'll give it another couple of seconds. All right, let me go ahead and close this one out. And the second question that we have, let me see if I can get this one launched here, is do you have plans for Giving Tuesday 2021? And your choices are, yes, excited to give it all we got. 2, yes, joining in, but not going all out. 3 is maybe curious and thinking it through. And 4, no, decided it's not for us. So let's see what your answers are on this one. Okay, interesting. Okay, getting some good results here. Getting a little more activity, great. And we do appear to be slowing down, so let me go ahead. Yeah, let me go ahead and close this poll out here. All right, so let's take a look at these results. This is actually kind of, to me, kind of fascinating on these. So let's take a look at how everyone felt about their 2020 Giving Tuesday campaign. So let's try to share those results. And yeah, this is intriguing to me. It looks like a good portion of you did not participate in 2020. So it's interesting to see. And then we do have kind of almost evenish match here with the others. So good for those of you who have exceeded your expectations, but otherwise, yeah, met expectations. And unfortunately, it looks like a lot of you had lower than. So okay, let's take a look at those other results here with this. And this one, this one has me excited with this one. I'm great to see this one here. That yeah, we have most of you wanting exciting it to give it all you got. So really happy with that. And joining in but not going all out, I can understand that. Curious and such. So nice to see these results. So no matter how you plan to join in on Giving Tuesday in 2021, today's webinar is going to offer actionable strategies and tools that you can use now or in the future. All right, so you know what? Let's dive into this. So join me in welcoming both Leah Leibold and Denise Dunbar with our digital fundraising strategy team to take us through our 6 weeks to a successful Giving Tuesday campaign. Over to you, Leah.
Thank you, Scott. So I'm just like Scott, I'm very excited to see that 51% of you are really excited to give it all that you've got. So there are some challenges though with Giving Tuesday. One, it's that everybody's trying to do the same thing on the same day. There's increased competition, which can make it harder for you to really shine on social media and really make a name for yourself on social media. And especially in the past, Facebook, for example, has done these really big matches, and people have been really excited to, jump in and get that match, some of that match funding, especially if you have a smaller organization. It can really make a big difference to your programs. However, lots of times those matches have been gone by like 6:05 a.m. in the morning, 5 minutes after starting. So, so that is a challenge for a lot of organizations that, their expectations are set high. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of noise that donors have to tune out in order to find your organization and make a gift. However, that's not to say that Giving Tuesday is a waste of your time. No, not at all. One of the things that's great about Giving Tuesday is that a lot of people who might not be familiar with your organization might be excited by the fact that your organization is doing something for Giving Tuesday. They know about Giving Tuesday, they want to participate and give back to their community on Giving Tuesday, and so this gives organizations a chance to get in front of new donors and bring new donors into their organization. It also sets up, it's time limited, so it helps your donors get really excited, and it helps you to create a sense of urgency around the campaign that will allow hopefully inspire some donors to give. And really, even if you don't raise a ton of money, it's always great to have those new donors. Research shows that the majority of donors on Giving Tuesday are new to an organization. So, even if you don't raise tens of thousands of dollars, having, 100 or even a couple dozen new donors in your pipeline allows you to grow those donors and cultivate them over the next few years, and hopefully eventually have a long-term sustainable source of support and long-term sustainable supporters. So, Giving Tuesday is a really great, you should not discount it based on past experience, because I know 25% of you had results lower than your expectations. So it doesn't sound like you're discounting it fully. So next, Scott. So some important things to keep in mind on Giving Tuesday. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of competition for those limited funds. It's sometimes helpful to think of it as bonus money or gravy. And as I mentioned also, having a specific, your donors are, a lot of Giving Tuesday donors are brand new to your organization. So focusing on the number of donors you get to engage is really helpful, and focusing on how you're spreading the word about your organization, and really, looking at Giving Tuesday as, this really exciting time limited event, but it's not where you're going to make all your money. Essentially, it's the beginning of your holiday giving season. Thanksgiving's over, and you're really just kicking off your holiday giving season. You're letting new people know about your organization, and you're going to spend the next month until the end of the calendar year, bringing in those donations, because as you know, most donations from most philanthropic donations come in the month of December. There's a really cool fact on this slide. Did you know $20 is the most frequent amount given on Giving Tuesday versus $100 the rest of the year? These are statistics from Mobile Cause, and it's really interesting to see that people are joining. It kind of helps to show that a lot of people are joining in on Giving Tuesday because they want to learn. They're giving back to their community. They're excited about the holiday, but they might be new to your organization. They might be testing you out, seeing how you steward their gift, and they might not be ready to, they're just giving you a small gift. So that's something to think about, so you don't give yourself a hard time when you're setting your goals. Next, Scott. So we are actually 6 weeks out today. Isn't that crazy? So this week, if you really want to get started, you're ready to get started on Giving Tuesday, you can start with your campaign setup. That means, outlining your goals. Are you going to do an overall donation goal? Are you going to do that donor goal and try to bring in X number of new donors? In addition, I've seen organizations use Giving Tuesday to set up recurring donations. So that could be a goal. We get, 15 new recurring donors. think about what would be a really great outcome for your organization, and help set those goals and allow them to drive your overall campaign composition. One of the other things you might want to consider is a virtual event. I know in these semi-post-COVID times that people are a little burnt out on virtual events, but this doesn't have to be a formal thing. Everybody sign it into the computer at 7 p.m. and sit there and watch a program. There's all kinds of cool things that you can do for a virtual event on GivingTuesday. It could be a tour of your new facility, especially since people might not have been to your facility in a while because of COVID. It might be a great idea to go live on a social media and show them your facility, give them a little tour. If you're an organization that does health and nutrition, maybe you do cooking classes. Think about different fun, quick ways throughout the day that you might be able to engage people on social media, engage your donors, and engage your supporters with a virtual program. And you don't have to have one. It's just a cute idea to help get more engagement. In addition, you want to start thinking about how you're going to be collecting all those donations. If you're using MobileCause, what is your are you going to do some text to donate? MobileCause also does outbound texts that can be really helpful on GivingTuesday, because texts help play into that sense of urgency. So start thinking about what kind of technology you're going to need to really get your donors excited about your event. And finally, start thinking about save the dates. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be a quick postcard. It could be a email. It could be just a post on your social media. And finally, you're sending out those save the dates. You have your donation form set up. Don't be afraid to take some early donations. Just because they don't come in on November 30th doesn't mean that you should disregard those donations. Some people, might open your save the date and be like, I'll just give it right now. And that's great. MobileCause has the ability has what we call a give later option for payments, where somebody can put in their credit card information ahead of time, and their credit card information gets tokenized, and then you can charge it later. So one of my clients is using Give Later to allow people in the weeks leading up to GivingTuesday, because maybe they're working, maybe it's just not a convenient time for them, to get gifts ahead of time, and then they're going to process them all on GivingTuesday. So that hopefully that will allow them to get some extra participation. And then here's Denise to talk about some campaign setup ideas from a real client.
Thank you, Leah. Hello, everyone. So the first example we're going to look at today is UWC USA's peer-to-peer campaign. So to prepare for their GivingTuesday campaign, UWC met as an organization and came up with their GivingTuesday concept of engaging their audience, which happens to be their alumni, by pitting the class years against each other in a friendly fundraising competition. UWC really wanted the campaign site to be visual and engaging, where the fundraisers, the class teams, can check their team's fundraising goal and see who donated to their page throughout the campaign. So ahead of time, UWC set up the team pages with a tiered structure of goals for each class, and gave older classes higher goals based on where they might be in their lives professionally, and smaller goals for the recent graduating classes. They also included faculty and staff teams in the friendly competition. Additionally, UWC recruited their class, they included class representatives to act as the voice of the organization, to push out information, and they really leaned on them to lead the fundraising efforts for their class. On their fundraising pages, they added unique photos and videos relevant to their class year to make it fun and exciting and engaging, and had their fundraising goal and progress bar showing on their page to track their progress. And then early in the process, as they were preparing, UWC sent out a survey to the alumni asking for their feedback. So the alumni knew exactly where the funds were going. They had a voice in where they wanted to see the funds allocated, and that really resonated with the alumni, and they ran with the campaign. So now, because they ran a peer-to-peer campaign for their 2020 Giving Tuesday efforts, it was important that UWC began early to get everyone on board and set up. This year, they sent their first messages 8 weeks out in advance and will ramp up their messaging as they get closer to Giving Tuesday. Last year's UWC's Giving Tuesday campaign was super successful, and they raised over $130,000, which is more than 4 times any of their previous Giving Tuesday campaigns. So, next slide.
All right, so you've got your campaign all set up. You set up your peer-to-peer just like UWC. Now it's time to get those peer-to-peer ambassadors recruited. Your peer-to-peer ambassadors should be your biggest advocates online, because Giving Tuesday is an online digital holiday. So that means that, you know, the people who should be promoting your organization are the people who are already liking all your posts. They're sharing your posts. They're commenting on your posts. They're really excited about your organization, and they show that every day by their actions. My understanding is that in Facebook and Instagram, you can see who your biggest, your biggest fans are. And so take a look at some of that data and statistics and say, okay, some of these people are people that we should ask to share our information on Giving Tuesday, because they, one, are already comfortable on social media, and two, they're already fans of your organization. They are already happy to engage with you online. Beyond those people, other good, beyond your big online supporters, other good sources of peer-to-peer ambassadors are volunteer fundraising committees, frequent donors, board members, people who have indicated that they actively want to engage with your organization. This, Giving Tuesday is also a great way to kind of test out new volunteers. Maybe there's somebody who said they wanted to volunteer, but they work a lot and you haven't really found a space for them. Say, hey, why don't you come and become one of our Giving Tuesday volunteers? We'll make it really super easy for you, because we're going to have a peer-to-peer toolkit already ready for you. And what that peer-to-peer toolkit is content, pictures, photos, all kinds of stuff that you can give to your fundraisers for them to share. So it's easy. A lot of people really like your organization. They're really excited to support it, but unfortunately, they don't know how to do that. It's a little, they sign up to be a peer-to-peer fundraiser, but they might be a little overwhelmed with actually, like, what should I say in this post that you want me to do? Give them a calendar, write it out for them. Say, okay, here's 3 examples of posts. You can take what you like, or take some and leave some, and just pop it onto your social media. A lot of people will just probably copy and paste, maybe put in a little personal anecdote, but it makes it easy for them. It's not overwhelming. It's a work day. They can just say, oh, let me copy and paste and put this on my social media. So you make it really easy for them to share their excitement about Giving Tuesday. And when you make it easy for them, to post on social media, that amplifies your reach amongst their friends. Most people most new donors to an organization come to the organization because their friend told them about it. It's word of mouth is the best promotional tool for you. So using peer-to-peer and enlisting those ambassadors is great. And you don't have to do a formal peer-to-peer campaign. Just reaching out to some people that are your biggest advocates and saying, you know, and what I mean by formal peer-to-peer campaign is something where people set up a peer-to-peer fundraising page and set their own goals and put their pictures on it. Sometimes that can seem a little overwhelming, but just giving people some content to share and a link to share to your donation form can be a really great way to leverage those volunteers. Next.
Thank you. So this next example is the Vasculitis Foundation. So the Vasculitis Foundation they were really great about recruiting their ambassadors early for this campaign, and they used both team and individual fundraisers who were then able to share their individual page with their colleagues, their family, and their friends through email and text. And they're also able to share out their pages through social media channels. They're also given templates, text and email templates to share out with their fundraisers. On the main page of this campaign, the Vasculitis Foundation, they shared a heartfelt video featuring beneficiaries of the organization, which created an emotional appeal to get people to donate more. Another unique thing that this organization did was they made the campaign goal the number of donors instead of dollar amount. So for this campaign, they really wanted to focus on donors, and with a goal of 400 donors, that they successfully surpassed that goal with 547 donors. So now they have 547 individuals to fold into their communications throughout the year and can recruit them to be ambassadors for this year's campaign. And they can also begin cultivating these donors and stewardship on them as well. Next slide.
Sorry, I was on mute. So so an important part, in addition to recruiting your fundraising ambassadors, is your communications and messaging. And you should start ramping up your messaging and communications, posting more and more frequently, sending more and more messages, the closer you get to Giving Tuesday. This allows you to build up the frequency of communications so that on the day of Giving Tuesday, you can message your donor base more frequently throughout the day. And that doesn't mean just asking them for gifts 15 times throughout Giving Tuesday. Rather, that means, you know, giving them updates, telling them stories about the impact of your organization, you know, sharing, like I mentioned before, sharing a cooking class or a behind the scenes peek at your organization. We have after past Giving Tuesdays, we've taken a look at the organizations that raised the most on the Mobile Cause platform and took a look at what they were doing on social media. And every single organization that was in the top 10 all posted more on social media, Facebook to be exact, more than 10 times. So, you know, if you're going to if you're going to go all in on Giving Tuesday, you want to make sure that you're planning to post on social media a lot, email people a lot, text people a lot, but, you know, it's time limited, so you don't annoy people. We found that when there's a definite end period, people do not get annoyed when you post a lot during the day. On something like a Giving Tuesday or a Giving Day. Plus, like if you see the statistic at the bottom of this slide, you'll see that the average organic reach for a Facebook post is 5.2% of the page's total likes. So what that means is you could post on Facebook 20 times, but somebody's only going to see 4 of your posts. So really, you're not going to annoy them at all. Maybe not even 4 posts. I was not a math major, but essentially what I'm saying is, make sure that you are planning to communicate with your donors throughout the day. And you might have to start, setting up your posts and creating your content ahead of time and having that all scheduled ahead of time. So that way you can, react to donors in real time on Giving Tuesday. But, 3 weeks should give you a good, a good start for getting all your communications together. Next.
Thank you. So for this example, Michelle Lee Puppets had a really fun and creative Giving Tuesday campaign. They created cute content and videos showcasing their puppets to announce their Giving Tuesday campaign. They used their puppets to share different ways to give. And even on the event page, their landing page for their Giving Tuesday, they had a fund to need section with 4 different giving levels with descriptions of what those donations went towards. And they had cute puppets in each of the photos. They also encourage peer-to-peer fundraising through the use of their puppets. A really smart thing that Michelle Lee Puppets did was to add their text to donate keyword and short code into the title of their YouTube video. So it appears beneath the video the whole time you're watching it, and as you're watching the emotional appeal on the video, if you felt compelled to donate, just whip out your phone and text in your donation. It's really smart. Another thing they did was they promoted the hashtag #unselfie on social media, which has become really popular over the last few years on Giving Tuesday. You can get your board members and staff and volunteers to write #unselfie on a piece of paper, and then take a picture of it and post it on social media and tag the organization that you're supporting. You can also write one word or sentence on why you support that organization. It's a fun little engagement activity to get everyone just involved in the day. You also can create your own hashtag. You don't have to use #unselfie, just get creative and use your own hashtag and share it with everyone on social media and your staff and supporters. Next.
So now that your communications plan is all set up and you're starting to put together your posts and whatnot, you'll want to think about the virtual elements that you're adding to your event. And as I mentioned at the very beginning of this webinar, there are so many different great ideas for adding a virtual element to your Giving Tuesday. You don't have to have a long, overly involved or expensive virtual element. You could host a meet and greet with staff, have special guests feature your beneficiaries. And for example, if you help puppies, put some of the puppies on the internet. Nobody can resist puppies, but essentially you don't have to overthink this. You want to be authentic. The videos that get the most engagement online are ones that are simple and authentic and it from the heart. So I think we even have some resources on our website too that teach you a little bit about how to shoot a video with your smartphone. We have really great smartphones these days that have really great video capabilities. So you don't have to have like the big fancy setup if you're a smaller organization. The other thing that you might want to try to do is live stream on social media, schedule a debut of your video. I have, you can use YouTube to go, to do some live streaming. You can use Facebook, you can use Vimeo, you could even do Instagram There's a lot of ways to reach out to your donors using video. As Denise said in the last slide, promoting your text to donate details is really helpful, especially on a platform like Instagram that doesn't allow smaller organizations with smaller followers to have links. But you could say, instead of having a link to your donation form, you can use the text donate keyword in your Instagram stories, and really encourage giving that way. Another thing that's really cool, that's really simple and doesn't require a lot of planning, is giving a shout out to your donors. So essentially having somebody at your organization go live and say, hey, in this last hour, we got 5 more gifts. We're almost to our goal. I'd like to thank, Amy, Jessica, Sam, list the 5 names, and let them know how thankful you are. It's think of it like the public radio drive. They always thank people during their the public radio drive. But and another thing is, some of your communications on the day can be reminders to attend your virtual event, to see that special program you've planned. And because you're not just asking people for gifts 20 times throughout the day, but you're engaging with them with authentic content, people are going to be really excited to be part of your Giving Tuesday campaign. Next.
Thank you. So for this example, Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking, they had their virtual event on Giving Tuesday, and they hosted it, live streamed it on our event page. They used the live video hero section, which includes a progress bar at the bottom that scrolls across, and they had they showcased a real-time donor wall. So as viewers were watching the program, they could donate and their names would show up on the donor scroll. It's up to you. If you wanted to have donor name and amount showing on the scroll, or you can just show name or just amount. It really depends on you. They also featured inspiring performances and presentations throughout the event. And for this organization, supporting the local community was really important to them. So they featured local celebrity musicians, painters, and spoken word artists in their live event to help foster a sense of togetherness during the pandemic. Since we're together but not in person, they felt that was important. They also featured sponsors on the event page to acknowledge all the corporate donors for the event. They used the impact section to showcase their performers with bios underneath their headshots instead of using the fund and need section. There's really just a lot of customizable options on the event page. You can add videos, you can add photos, you can showcase board members, committee members, scholarship winners, honorees. You can even embed a social wall to show social media engagement throughout the day. There's just a lot you can do with the event page for your day of giving. Next slide.
So week 5, we're already to Giving Tuesday. Yikes. But it's important to remember you've already done all the work with you've set up your campaign, you've gotten your donor forms together, you've recruited your peer-to-peer ambassadors, you've given them toolkits, you've scheduled your message, you've planned and scheduled out your messaging for the day, and you started filming your virtual event. So you guys are set, you're ready to go. On Giving Tuesday, or the week of Giving Tuesday, don't forget to recognize your donors in real time. Denise mentioned that in the last slide, that the virtual event that for the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking made sure to recognize their donors on their donor wall. So that's a really exciting element you can have, and MobileCause has a bunch of different thermometers and donor walls that you can choose from. Or I shouldn't say a bunch, but there's different types, there's different features and different ways you can use a thermometer. Make sure you stay in communication with your ambassadors, give them, say good work. In MobileCause, you can, send out a message to your ambassadors to let them know that you're really proud of the work you're doing and we're almost to the finish line and they can help you reach your goal. Don't forget to share videos, photos, and posts during the day. And, this pro tip is really cool. It's just a reminder that, encouraging people to give at any level on a day like Giving Tuesday when you're reaching out to so many new people to your organization will help people jump in and participate, because you don't want to be a gatekeeper for giving. On a day like Giving Tuesday, any amount is always appreciated. And this is a really great example of a social media post on Giving Tuesday where it uses not just the text call to action, but it also uses a link. So you're giving, no matter how people are taking a look at your post, they can either click the button with their mouse or tap it with their finger, or they can pull out their phone and give. So next.
Did we lose you, Leo?
Oh, it's still me. For some reason, sorry, I thought it was the example. Sorry about that. Yeah, so let's take a look at the day of calendar. It's helpful to plan out your whole day so you're not overwhelmed. And, in the morning, you can share general mission and goals and your live stream details and, how people can participate. And throughout the day, you can build on that story, send additional content, and build up to the evening where you're sharing updates, impact metrics. Maybe you'll do your live stream then because everybody's home from work, and that's really the best time because it is a Tuesday, it is a work day. So, go live at 7 or 8 p.m. so more people can join in. And this, having a great plan, and you can use the sample day of communication calendar if you'd like to inspire and remind people throughout the day on your personal Giving Tuesday. Okay, next.
Thank you. Now it's me. Yeah, so for this example, we have Houston Baptist University. They used a branded hashtag on social media, hashtag cup of encouragement, and they did not use hashtag Giving Tuesday, which was perfect. They shared this hashtag across all their social media channels. They also used text to donate in their videos and social posts, and they scheduled several posts throughout the campaign with the text to donate details. HBU was really great at using inspiring, emotional, and motivating messaging throughout the campaign. They created these heartfelt videos from alumni on why to give and why they are thankful for HBU. And they promoted this a week or so in advance of Giving Tuesday by sending out text messages to everyone in their database to drive traffic to their social media channels. On Giving Tuesday, they sent out another text message reminding donors to donate on that day. And if they did donate on that day, the donor would receive a nice gift in return. So inspiring and reminding donors by scheduling posts at high traffic times will definitely increase visibility and drive your engagement. Next slide.
All right, so now that people have given gifts, and maybe some of these people are first-time donors, it's important that you give them quick thank yous. MobileCause is great in that it also will give you, in addition to once somebody makes a gift, you'll get an automated thank you email that includes a PDF tax receipt. You will also get an automated text thank you. But in addition to those, just basics, it's always helpful to send additional thanks. And this example here in this image shows how people did used the phone numbers, the mobile phone numbers they gathered during Giving Tuesday to send out a thank you YouTube video via text after their Giving Tuesday. So showing your donors the way that their gifts are making a difference and showing them soon after makes it more likely, as you can see with the did you know fact at the bottom, it makes them more likely to give again. And so even though you've done all this work for the past 6 weeks, you've really hustled to get it to put on a great Giving Tuesday, you want to remember to say thanks, because otherwise all that work you did was in vain, because your donors are going to be less likely to give to you again if you don't thank them in a timely fashion. But of course, since Giving Tuesday is a digital holiday, you can thank them digitally. Share photos and videos and highlights on your social media. You've spent all Giving Tuesday posting like crazy on your social media. Don't forget to, do some thank you posts on social media as well. All right, next.
Great. So our final example is, we'll take it back to the Vasculitis Foundation. So once their Giving Tuesday campaign was over, they shared a lovely thank you video from their beneficiaries that they included on the main campaign page. They were also diligent about posting thank you messages on social media throughout the day as donations came through and tagged the donors. They gave results, total raised, number of donors, and the results of the matching gift challenge that they had put out there. They also extended the deadline of their campaign until Sunday to help boost their year-end giving campaign, and it seamlessly runs right into the year-end appeal that you'll use until the end of the year. Just post all your thank yous across all your social media channels. You can send out an e-blast as well with the results. You don't have to just send it to the donors. You can send it to your whole database, and you can include the text to donate details in the e-blast, as well as a link to the donation form, just to keep the momentum going, and because it will run right into your end of year appeal. It just makes sense. And one note is, a lot of this content can be drafted ahead of time, and all you have to do is plug in the numbers, put in some names of some special donors, add a nice photo. If you're short-staffed or too busy, this is just a great way to just get prepared, and you can schedule some posts to keep the momentum going. Back to you, Scott.
All right, well, thank you so much, Leah and Denise, for sharing all of your expertise and insights with us today. And also thank you, Heather and Nonprofit Tech for Good, for this opportunity to share all of this information. I think this was really helpful to see how other nonprofits are using these ideas to make their Giving Tuesday campaigns stand out and raise more. Now, we hope you too will be trying out some of these ideas soon for your own Giving Tuesday campaigns. But okay, so now before we go ahead and jump into our question and answer, we do have a quick question for you. And that is, are you interested in learning more about MobileCause? So let me go ahead and launch this poll here. And we'll just give this one a short run here and see if we can get some answers from you. All right, still getting some good responses. Great. All right, looks like it's slowing down. So let's go ahead and close that poll. And now let's get into our question and answer. So this is where we answer some of the very important questions that you've sent us already about your fundraising event plans, but now also please feel free to submit any others as we go along. So with the questions here, let me get my window open here so I can see these a little better. Okay, so the first question, this actually is for either of you or both. So the question comes from Maisie, and the question is, when is a good time to start soliciting for Giving Tuesday donations? How long should we keep our gift form open? Leah, do you want to start us off with that one?
Sure, no problem. I think that you should be prepared to accept gifts for Giving Tuesday the second you send out that first save the date or email, because people get tons of emails and mail and everything these days. They have a lot going on. So if they are inspired to give when they get an email 2 weeks ahead of time, let them give, because you don't want to miss out on them forgetting to put making a gift to your organization in their calendar on November 30th. I also think that you can keep the form open. When I started doing annual giving way back in the day, when we didn't do email solicitations, we just sent out the return envelopes. I remember getting return envelopes from like 2 years before. And that's because people would set them aside, and then when it was time to make their yearly gift, they'd pull it out and send it in, even though it wasn't part of the most recent campaign. Same thing with email. I know that sometimes I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's almost the end of the year. I need to make a gift to, Puppies for Good today. Let me go into my email and see if they sent me a link. And they might end up on your Giving Tuesday link, even though it's December 15th, and you don't want to prevent them from making a gift then. If you want to turn it off after the first of the year, that's fine. But I say leave it open, because you never know when somebody's going to stumble on it.
Okay, great. Denise, any further insight from you?
No, that sounds good. I would just say, just to keep the momentum going, keep it open for a week or so, because it's just going to run right into your annual appeal, and you just want to keep people engaged and involved. Any donation is a good donation.
Okay, great. Okay, so just to save people's time, let's try just one more question here for this one. How can I make Giving Tuesday stand out? I'm sorry, this came from Tamia, and I'm also going to add a little bit to it here too, to fit some of the other questions. How can I make Giving Tuesday stand out to our audience as it falls during our end of year appeal? Now, for Tamia, their end of year appeal runs from September through December, but also just in general, how do you make Giving Tuesday stand out between the noise and everything else? Leah, start us off.
Sure. So if during your year-end appeal, it depends, I guess it depends how it's structured. But for example, in your year-end appeal, you can mention, please join us on these specific dates throughout the year, including Giving Tuesday, to learn more about our organization and what's going on. You can put it in your newsletter. You can just kind of incorporate the fact that you're doing Giving Tuesday into some of your communications that you're already planning. But then don't be afraid to do separate outreach on Giving Tuesday. And part of that can be, like, say you have a specific theme for your year-end appeal, and you're talking about how you're helping somebody do X throughout the year, and you have stories about X throughout your year-end appeal. Weave that into your Giving Tuesday communications. It doesn't have to be a totally separate campaign. Just weave your weave your theme for your year-end appeal into your Giving Tuesday communications, and kind of wrap it all into an overall plan. All right.
All right. Well, looking at the time and everything, we're just going to pull it from here. So we're going to conclude our Q&A on this. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. Now, before we leave, if you are interested in discovering how MobileCause can help maximize your fundraising efforts, please fill out our post-webinar survey or request a demo so that you can see MobileCause in action, how to set up a text to donate, how to do all of that. So definitely check those out. And then thank you again for attending today, and best of luck in planning and running your Giving Tuesday campaigns. Goodbye for now, and we hope to see you again next month at MobileCause's free webinar where we will discuss storytelling for year-end giving. Thanks, everyone.